Hi, so today's video is about a brief introduction of the gynecological history taking. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you about a brief introduction about gynecological history taking, some headings that are important and different from medical history taking, and a few examples of how to ask a question. So, the first heading is general or patient's profile, and in patient's profile, we are going to ask about the name, age, occupation, and the date of admission if the patient is in ward and referred through OPD or emergency. And this is important to ask because this can tell about the extent of the patient's disease. If the patient is referred via emergency, this means that the patient's condition is very not good, not very good. So we are going to tell a brief statement of the general nature and duration of the stay in hospital, or when she came to hospital, how was she. So you are going to explain it like this. For example, my patient Alan, aged 34 years old, a housewife, was admitted on 26 November 2021, referred via OPD with the chief complaints. That is our next heading. The next heading is chief complaints, and in this section we are going to be writing about the chief complaints with which she presented. For example, if she presented with let's say she presented with menstrual problems, for example heavy menstrual bleeding, so you are going to write heavy menstrual bleeding from past 2 months. And she also presented with breathlessness and from past 5 days, and she's also having fever from past 2 days. So you write it in chronological order, starting from the thing that started at first, then the second one, and then the third one in the decreasing order. So the next heading is history of presenting illness. So you are going to tell about each of the chief complaint in detail. You are going to tell about heavy menstrual bleeding, breathlessness, and fever. For example, in heavy menstrual bleeding, you are going to start it like this: that according to my patient was in her usual state of health 2 months ago when she started suffering from heavy menstrual bleeding. Heavy menstrual bleeding may further you are going to ask about questions like: is the bleeding more or less than usual? Do you use tampons, towels, or both? How often does soaked sanitary wear need to be changed? Is there presence of clots? Is the bleeding so heavy, flooding, that it spills over your tampons, towels, pads, and onto your pants, clothes, or bedding? How often do you change the pads, and how many times do you change it in a day? Have you had to take any time off work due to bleeding? Do you ever find you are confined to your house when the bleeding is at its worst? Do you feel lazy, dizzy, shortness of breath, particularly after a period, or find it hard to climb stairs? And does it constrain your lifestyle? So these are questions that are you going to ask about heavy menstrual bleeding to rule out the heavy menstrual bleeding, how it affects her lifestyle, how if it affects her health, how is it a cause of anemia in her, and etc. And other than that, breathlessness, you're also going to ask about questions regarding that: is it on rest, on exercise, on walking, on running? Is it associated with some kind of exercise? Is it associated after bleeding, before bleeding, or anything else? And fever, obviously you are going to ask about the duration of fever, when it started, its onset was gradual, its character, whether it is a step ladder, it is continuous, it is remittent, it is intermittent, etc., just as you ask in the medical history. Then the fourth heading is about menstrual history. In menstrual history, you are going to ask about whether the age of menarche, that is the starting of menstruation, age of menarche. It is important because many of the diseases are associated with the with early age of menarche or late age of menarche. Then you are also going to ask about the first day of LMP. That is important. As in OBS history, we also ask about the first day of LMP because this is important in determining the EDD and also other diseases. Then the pattern of bleeding, regularity, and length of cycle. All these questions are important in diagnosing or distinguishing the menstrual cycle of that particular lady from normal to abnormal. So you are also going to ask about the abnormal blood loss or amount of blood loss. Patient will have different ideas as to what constitutes a heavy period. For example, the number of pads have increased, etc. Then the other heading is cervical screening, and in cervical screening, this will be explored in all patients, that the date of last smear, its outcome, and any previous abnormalities, then colposcopy or treatments done. Cervical screening was often done in age greater than 35 years most commonly, and in our setups, it's almost 40 years. So, and in US it is almost 31 years as well, because cervical cancers are very common and it is the most preventable one when you do a cervical smear, cervical screening. So you can prevent the cancers from happening and the early treatment should be started. It is very important. So the next heading is sexual and contraceptive history, and it is also very important. In sexual and contraceptive history, you are going to ask about present partner or partners, the sexual orientation, and the method of contraception used. It is also very important because many contraceptive pills also have a role in disorders of menstruation. And then after this, you are going to ask about other gynecological problems. In other gynecological problems, there is a brief exploration of following complaints, and the detailed questions related each complaint are explained in later. Any regular bleeding? Do you have any regular bleeding? Any heavy menstrual bleeding? And postcoital bleeding or intermenstrual bleeding. Intermenstrual bleeding is that in which you have a bleeding between two menstrual cycles, and postcoital bleeding is the bleeding when you have bleeding after intercourse. Any problems with fertility, either they are planning for a baby or not and they haven't been able to conceive, etc. Any problems with continence, any dyspareunia or sexual difficulty, any vaginal discharge, menopause, history of use of hormone replacement therapy. So these are also important because these give us a picture overview of whatever the patient is suffering from right now or has suffered in past. Then you are going to ask about past history. In past history of gynecology, you are going to ask about previous gynecological history. This is different from the medical history that we take. In previous gynecological history, this section will include any previous gynecological treatments or surgery happened before. Previous obstetric history is also important, and you ask about the number of children with ages and birth weights, mode of delivery, and any complications, as you ask in a OBS history as well. Number of miscarriages and gestation at which where they occurred, any termination of pregnancy with record of gestational age, and any complications. This is important because if the patient is has come to your clinic with subfertility, etc., so you are going to rule out about the previous pregnancies and the number of children. Or if you are going for hysterectomy in sub patient and you don't know that she does not have any children, she wants to have children, so you are going to ask about this. This is important. Family is incomplete, family is complete, you are going to also ask about this. Then previous medical history, you are going to about previous medical illnesses, serious illnesses or operations or surgeries done with dates and admissions and number of days she was admitted for, the treatment she has gone through, and the medications she was given at that time. Then comes the medications and allergies. In medications and allergies, you are going to ask about allergies, including to what and the reaction. For example, some patients are allergic to penicillins, so you're going to ask about it specifically about some food allergies, any other allergies, any drug allergies, etc. Then you are going to ask about current and previous medications tried, because they are almost drugs. For example, a patient is on hypertensive drugs or other, they can have just diuretics. They have some teratogenic effects like ototoxicity, etc., if the patient wants to conceive, etc. And others may have a cause in like subfertility drugs. So you are also going to rule out the drugs she is using, so that there is no other thing. Then is and also some blood thinners are used by hypertensive patients, which can cause heavy menstrual bleeding. Then comes family history, and in family history it is important because family history is important because significant autoimmune diseases can be asked, and cancers and thrombophilias can be ruled out. In thrombophilias there can be heavy menstrual bleeding as well. Then you go for systemic inquiry. The systemic inquiry can also be asked in history of presenting illness, but it's okay to ask in the end as well, so that you cover each and every system, and you do not miss any other symptom or any other specific sign that you were looking for. And it also helps you to gather as many differentials as you can and narrow it down, so that you can particularly go for examination in a specific symptom system. So, in systemic inquiry, you are going to ask about the appetite, weight loss, or weight gain. For example, in PCOS, you gain weight, and in heavy menstrual bleeding, you weight loss, and then bowel function. If urogynecological complaint, more detail may be required. For example, constipation in pregnancy, of course, that is in obs history, but other than that, maybe some other problems. Then bladder function, if urogynecological complaint, then you may also require a detail, because bladder function, UTIs and etc., they are also important. Frequent urination and etc. are can be asked. Other than that, the last heading is socioeconomic history, and in socioeconomic history, you are going to ask about patient's husband, and how many people live in one house, the detail about the house they live in, the rooms, cemented ventilation, the pets in the house, the which water they drink. This is also asked to rule out any kind of infections in the environment, etc. You are going to ask about the number of earning members, number of dependent members, and how she eats, how she drinks, how she lives, and some about psychological inquiry as well. And then you are going to ask whether she is financially stable or not, or whether she needs any help. And if there is like a treatment that needs a lot of money, you can also counsel her, and also ask her about also inform her about some funds if you know about anything. And counseling is very important in these patients. So this is about the brief review of gynecological history taking, and I hope it helped you, because this is all I know, and this is the references from the gynecological history taking in 10 teachers. So I hope it helped you. Take care, have a nice day, and please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, so that I can be boosted up or have a morale of making new videos. Thank you so much.